The most dangerous thing about stroke isn't what you eat or how active you are during the day. It's what happens while you're asleep. It may sound hard to believe, but this is something many people over 60 don't realize. Tonight, when you lie down and close your eyes, your body isn't truly resting the way you think it is. Your heart is still pumping, your brain is still active, and your blood still needs to flow properly. The problem is, just one wrong sleeping position or a small habit before bed can slow blood flow to your brain, increase pressure in your vessels, and make your circulatory system work less efficiently for hours at a time. What's more concerning is that you won't feel it right away. There's no obvious pain, no strong warning signs, just night after night, your body is quietly working harder to compensate, and at some point, it simply can't keep up anymore. Many people think a stroke happens suddenly, but in reality, it's often prepared by very small habits, repeated hundreds, even thousands of times while you sleep. The good news is, you don't have to change your entire lifestyle. Sometimes, simply adjusting how you lie down each night is enough to reduce strain on your heart, improve oxygen flow to your brain, and help your body recover better. In the next few minutes, I'll walk you through the most common sleeping positions and habits, which ones are truly harmless and which ones may be quietly putting you at risk, and, more importantly, you'll know exactly what to change, starting tonight. Position number 1, sleeping flat on your back with no elevation. You may have heard that sleeping on your back is good for your spine, and that's not wrong, but it's only part of the story. What very few people talk about is that when you lie completely flat, especially after age 60, gravity no longer supports your blood circulation the way it used to. When your body stays horizontal for several hours, blood tends to pool more toward your head. In younger people, blood vessels are still flexible enough to regulate this pressure. But as we age, vessel walls become stiffer and less adaptable, and that pooling starts to become a problem. So, what happens next? Pressure inside the skull begins to rise, quietly, not strong enough to wake you up right away, but enough to create very familiar symptoms the next morning. Have you ever woken up with a heavy feeling in your head, like something is pressing inside, or felt slightly dizzy when you sit up too quickly? Many people assume that's just part of aging, but in reality, it may be a sign that blood flow during sleep isn't being distributed efficiently. And this is the key point you need to pay attention to. When pressure in the small blood vessels of the brain increases night after night, it doesn't cause immediate problems. But over time, those vessels become more fragile and more vulnerable to damage. That's how serious risks. Begin with very small things. You don't feel danger tonight, but your body is adapting little by little until it no longer can. The good news is, this is one of the easiest things to adjust. You don't have to completely change your sleeping position. Just a small adjustment in how you elevate your upper body can make a noticeable difference in how blood flows while you sleep. But before we get into how to fix that, you need to understand another position, one that's just as common and may place even more strain on your heart than you realize. Position number 2, sleeping on your right side. This is a position many people choose, simply because it feels comfortable. You turn onto your right side, slightly bend your legs, relax, and quickly drift off to sleep. No pain, no discomfort, everything seems completely normal, but beneath that sense of normal, your body is adjusting more than you might realize. Your heart doesn't sit in the exact center of your chest. It's slightly positioned to the left, and when you lie on your right side, the weight of your upper body places pressure on the major blood vessels that return blood back to your heart, especially the blood flowing up from the lower part of your body. When that flow is even slightly restricted, your heart has to work harder to pull blood back in. For younger individuals, this difference is almost negligible. But for someone over 60, when the heart has already worked for decades and blood pressure may no longer be as stable, this becomes a different situation. The important thing is you won't feel it clearly, No chest pain, no obvious symptoms during the night, just your heart working a little harder quietly for 6 to 7 hours while you sleep. And when that happens every night over many years, it becomes a form of accumulated strain. There's an interesting detail that many people overlook. Some individuals with underlying heart issues, even before being diagnosed, will often instinctively avoid sleeping on their right side. They feel slightly uncomfortable, subtly uneasy, and naturally shift to the other side. Sometimes your body recognizes the problem before you fully understand it. If you regularly sleep on your right side and wake up feeling a slight heaviness in your chest, unexplained fatigue, or needing extra time to fully wake up, don't ignore it. These may be small signs that your cardiovascular system is working harder than it should during the night. And just like sleeping flat on your back, the issue isn't one single night, but hundreds of nights over time. You don't have to force yourself to change immediately. But recognizing this is the first step toward reducing strain on your heart in a very simple way. And next, there's a habit many people believe is actually helping their body, when in reality, it directly affects how blood flows to your brain. Position number 3, using multiple pillows to elevate your head. Many people believe that the higher you elevate your head, the easier it is to breathe and the more comfortable you'll feel. And in some short-term situations, that can be true. But when you make it a habit to use 2, 3, or even more pillows every night, the position of your neck begins to change in ways you don't notice. Your head is pushed forward, your neck bends, and that's where the problem begins. Along both sides of your neck are critical blood vessels responsible for carrying blood to your brain. When your neck is bent too far forward for hours at a time, these vessels can become slightly compressed. Not the kind of compression that causes immediate pain, but the kind that quietly reduces blood flow. So what happens? Your brain still receives enough blood to function, but not enough to function at its best. And when this happens, night after night, you may begin to notice very familiar signs. Stiffness in your neck when you wake up, a dull ache at the back of your head, or occasionally a slight sense of imbalance when you first stand up. Many people assume it's just a simple sleeping posture issue, or muscle tension. But in reality, it may be related to reduced blood flow to the brain during sleep. What makes this especially important is, this is one of those habits that feels right. You add more pillows because you think you're supporting your body. But in doing so, you may be placing your neck in an unnatural position for 6 to 8 hours. And over time, that small misalignment can lead to bigger effects. You don't have to completely stop elevating your head, but what matters is that the height and angle of your neck are appropriate, not simply higher. One properly designed pillow is often far more effective than stacking 3 on top of each other. And when you get it right, you'll notice something very clearly. You don't just sleep more comfortably. You wake up feeling lighter, clearer, and more refreshed. But there's another position, very common among older adults, that doesn't just affect your neck or blood flow. It directly impacts how you breathe throughout the night. Position number 4, sleeping curled, too tightly, fetal position. This is a position many people find comforting. You pull your knees in, curl your body forward, tuck your chin slightly, and it feels like your body is protected, almost held in place. Especially in colder weather or when you're tired, this position can help you fall asleep faster. But that same curling in can limit a very important function, breathing. When you curl too tightly, your chest is compressed. The space for your lungs to expand is reduced, and that means every breath you take throughout the night becomes shallower than it should be. You are still breathing, but not deeply enough. If this only lasted a few minutes, it might not matter. But when it continues for 6 to 7 hours of sleep, night after night, your body begins to adapt. Oxygen levels in your blood may drop slightly, not enough to cause immediate danger, but enough to make your heart work harder to compensate. This is something many people don't realize. When your brain doesn't receive optimal oxygen over time, you may wake up feeling mentally foggy, struggling to focus for the first few minutes, or simply not fully alert. Many people assume it's just poor sleep quality, but in reality, it may be due to restricted breathing during the night. In addition, staying curled up for long periods also puts tension on your neck and upper back. The muscles don't fully relax. This can further affect blood flow around the neck, where blood travels to the brain. Once again, this isn't something that happens suddenly. You don't wake up gasping for air. You don't feel anything obviously wrong, but your body is still functioning less efficiently, night after night. The key isn't to completely avoid this position, it's to avoid curling too tightly. Just loosening your posture slightly, giving your chest more room to expand, keeping your neck in a more natural position can help your body breathe better throughout the night. And when your breathing improves, everything else, from your heart to your brain, begins to function more smoothly. But there's one more habit to consider, not a position, but the timing of when you go to sleep. And this may be the factor that creates the biggest difference on this entire list. Position number 5, going to bed, right after a heavy meal or drinking alcohol. This isn't a position in the traditional sense, but it's the habit that can have the strongest impact on how your body functions during sleep. And the important thing is, it's very common. You finish dinner, feel full, and a bit sleepy. Maybe you have a glass of wine to relax. Then you go to bed within an hour or two. Everything seems completely normal. But inside your body, a very different process is taking place. After a meal, blood is redirected toward your digestive system to process the food. This is a natural response. But it also means that the amount of blood available for your brain and heart is temporarily reduced during the early part of sleep. If you're younger and your blood vessels are flexible, your body can adjust quickly. But as you age, that ability becomes less efficient. And when you lie down at that moment, your circulatory system is forced to operate in an off-balance state. But that's not all. Alcohol causes your blood vessels to dilate, which makes your blood pressure drop quickly. It may feel relaxing, but in older adults, this sudden change can trigger a compensating response. Your blood pressure rises to correct it, then drops again. These fluctuations create stress on your vessel walls, especially those that are already weakened or affected by plaque. And all of this is happening while you're asleep. You don't feel the process clearly. Only occasionally you might wake up during the night with a faster than normal heartbeat. Slight sweating or a vague sense of discomfort you can't quite explain. Many people assume it's just a dream, but in reality it may be your body trying to stabilize your circulation. The concern isn't a single occurrence. It's when this repeats hundreds of times. Small fluctuations in blood pressure and blood flow can create tiny amounts of damage in your blood vessels. You don't notice it right away, but over time it accumulates, and that's how bigger risks begin to form. The good news is, this is also one of the easiest habits to change. You don't need to eat less. You just need to eat earlier. Give your body about 2 to 3 hours before sleep to stabilize blood flow. If you drink alcohol, allow even more time. A small change in timing can help your circulatory system function more steadily throughout the night. And now that you understand what to avoid, the more important question is, what positions actually support your body while you sleep? Better position. Number 1, sleeping on your left side. If you could change just one thing after watching this, this would be the most important place to start. Sleeping on your left side isn't just more comfortable for many people. It's a position that allows your body to function more efficiently during sleep. The first reason relates directly to your heart. Your heart sits slightly to the left. When you lie on that side, gravity begins to assist rather than work against your circulation. Blood from throughout your body returns to your heart more naturally and smoothly. What does that mean? Your heart doesn't have to work as hard to maintain circulation. The strain on your cardiovascular system is reduced, quietly but significantly. For someone over 60, when the heart has already worked for many years and blood vessels are no longer as flexible, this kind of relief can make a meaningful difference. But the benefits don't stop there. There's a system in your body that most people have never heard of, yet it becomes most active while you sleep. It's responsible for clearing out waste that builds up in your brain throughout the day. You can think of it as your brain's overnight cleaning system. And here's the interesting part. The position you sleep in can affect how well that process works. When you lie on your side, especially your left side, fluid in the brain circulates more effectively. Waste is cleared more efficiently. You won't feel this immediately, but over time, it plays a role in maintaining memory and mental clarity. In addition, if you've ever experienced acid reflux or a burning sensation in your chest at night, this position can also help reduce it. The natural structure of your stomach makes left-side sleeping less likely to allow acid to flow back into the esophagus. Of course, not everyone can switch to sleeping on their left side overnight. If you've been sleeping in a different position for years, your body will need time to adjust. A simple way to make it easier is to use a body pillow in front of you. It helps keep you in position without effort. If needed, you can also place a small pillow between your knees to reduce pressure on your hips and lower back. And don't worry if you turn during the night. The goal isn't to stay in one position perfectly. It's to spend more time in a position that supports your body. Even this one change, done consistently, can help your circulation work more smoothly each night. But if side sleeping doesn't feel right for you, or if you have shoulder or joint issues, there's another option that can be just as effective when done correctly. Better position number 2, sleeping on your back with gentle upper body elevation. Sleeping on your back isn't the problem. How you sleep on your back is. When you lie completely flat, as mentioned earlier, pressure can build up in the head. But when you slightly elevate your upper body, the entire dynamic changes. A gentle incline, around 15 to 30 degrees, is enough for gravity to start supporting your circulation again. So, what happens when you do this? First, blood from the lower part of your body returns to the heart more easily. This can be especially helpful if you often experience heavy legs, mild ankle swelling, or poor circulation. Second, pressure inside the head is reduced. For blood vessels that have lost elasticity over time, this becomes an important factor in lowering the risk of gradual damage. Third, your airway opens more effectively. When your upper body is slightly elevated, your tongue and the soft tissues in your throat are less likely to fall backward. This helps reduce snoring, improves oxygen levels during sleep, and is especially beneficial if you tend to sleep lightly or wake up during the night. But there's one detail many people get wrong. They only raise their head using multiple pillows while their shoulders and back remain flat. This creates a sharp bend in the neck, bringing you right back to the problem you saw earlier. The correct approach is to elevate your entire upper body, not just your head. You can use a wedge pillow, an adjustable bed, or arrange pillows so that your shoulders, upper back, and head form a smooth, gentle incline. A small but effective tip. Place a thin pillow under your knees. This helps maintain the natural curve of your spine, reduces pressure on your lower back, and allows your body to relax more fully. This position is especially helpful if you don't feel comfortable sleeping on your side, have shoulder or joint issues, or frequently snore or experience mild breathing difficulties during sleep. There's no single, perfect position for everyone, but when you understand how your body responds to each one, you can choose what works best for you instead of simply following habit. And beyond position, there's another factor many people overlook. Yet it directly affects both your sleep quality and your circulation every single night. You may have chosen the right position, but if your sleep environment isn't right, your body still has to work harder than you realize. The first factor is room temperature. When the room is too warm, your body has to constantly adjust to cool itself down. Your heart rate increases slightly, your sleep becomes lighter, and it's harder to enter deep sleep, the stage where real recovery happens. A moderately cool environment helps stabilize blood pressure and supports natural, deeper sleep. Next is light, especially blue light from phones or TVs. This type of light disrupts your sleep hormones, causing your body to think it's still daytime. As a result, you fall asleep more slowly, your sleep is less restorative, and your brain's recovery process is interrupted. Pillows and proper neck support also matter. More pillows don't necessarily mean better support. What matters is keeping your neck in a natural position, not bent too far forward and not tilted too far back. The right pillow helps maintain healthy blood flow to the brain throughout the night. Finally, there's noise. Even if you don't fully wake up, small, irregular sounds can pull you out of deep sleep. Each time this happens, your body creates a mild stress response. Your heart rate rises and your nervous system is activated. You don't remember these moments, but your body does. That's why a quiet, stable environment with soft lighting and a comfortable temperature doesn't just help you sleep better. It allows your heart and brain to truly rest. And if you want to better understand what's happening inside your body while you sleep, there are a few simple ways to track it without needing complicated equipment. You don't have to guess. Today, there are very simple ways to understand how your body is responding while you sleep. The first is tracking your blood oxygen levels. A small device placed on your fingertip can record your oxygen levels throughout the night. If those levels frequently drop below a healthy range, it may be a sign that your breathing isn't as effective or that your circulation isn't as stable during sleep. Next is heart rate and heart rate variability. Many wearable devices today can track this. When your body is recovering well, your heart rate tends to be steady and your variability is higher. If not, it may indicate that your body is still under stress, even while you're asleep. But you don't always need a device. A simpler approach is to pay attention to how you feel in the morning. Do you wake up feeling clear and refreshed, or do you feel heavy-headed, slightly dizzy, or still tired? Tracking these patterns over a few days can help you recognize something important. Your body is always sending signals. The question is whether you're paying attention. These tools don't replace your doctor, but they help you better understand your body and make adjustments before issues become more serious. And once you begin to recognize those signals, the next step isn't to do more, it's to do the right things. A stroke rarely comes from a single sudden moment. It usually begins with very small changes, repeated night after night over many years. A position that feels comfortable, a habit that seems harmless, and over time, your body keeps adapting until it no longer can. But here's what matters. You can absolutely change that. You don't have to fix everything at once. Just start with one right step. It could be switching to sleeping on your left side, or simply eating a little earlier before bed, or using a more supportive pillow. Try it for 7 days. Each night, choose one small change. Each morning, ask yourself, do I feel lighter in my head? Do I feel more alert? Your body will give you a clear answer, if you truly listen. And if you've made it this far, I want you to share one thing. What will you change first tonight? Leave a comment, not for anyone else, but as a commitment to your own body. If you come back after a few days and notice a difference, share your experience. Your story might help someone else recognize something they've never paid attention to. And if what you've just heard was helpful, take a moment to like this video so more people can see it. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss important insights that can help protect your health in the future. Because sometimes what protects your long-term health isn't a big change. It's the small, correct things done consistently every single day.